welcome back to this mini-series. Been a long time. I am here to try to make my predictions on how the wild card round for the 2021 postseason is going to play out. Been a while. Haven't made a lot of videos on this series. I'm focusing on gaming. However, I want to try doing more football-related stuff as well. So without further ado, let's get into the predictions. Oh, got dressed up for the occasion. Now let's introduce the new contenders for the 2021 playoff picture. For the AFC, let's start out with the wildcard teams. We've got the number 7 seed taken up by the Pittsburgh Steelers. Then we got the number 6 seed taken up by the New England Patriots. Got the 5 seed taken up by the Las Vegas Raiders. Division leaders for the AFC. We'll start out with the North at the number 4 seed with division champs Cincinnati Bengals. Number 3 seed taking control of the East with the Buffalo Bills. Number 2 seed taking up the AFC South with the Kansas City Chiefs. And the AFC East taken up by the Tennessee Titans. Tennessee Titans will be sitting out for this week though, since they are number 1 seed. They get a bye week. Now let's finish this off with the NFC. We got the number 7 seed taken up by the Philadelphia Eagles. We got the number 6 seed taken up by the San Francisco 49ers. We got the number 5 seed taken up by Arizona Cardinals. We got the number 4 seed with the division leaders taken up by the Los Angeles Rams. Number 3 seed taken up by the Dallas Cowboys. We got the number 2 seed taken up by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And the number 1 seed taken up by the Green Bay Packers. They also get a bye this week. So, now, with the games set and done, let's go ahead and take a look at who I believe will be winning these games. Alright, so let's start off with the first game, which is going to be the Las Vegas Raiders and the Cincinnati Bengals. Now, Raiders are a special team. They are a team that you wouldn't expect to be in the playoffs, but they're here, so deal with it. Honestly, defense has done pretty well. The defense of Las Vegas has definitely been extremely well against the LA Chargers. They did have an injury in their defensive line, so we will see if he comes back to play. Their offense is pretty strong. They have Darren Waller, Derek Carr. I think he's a little underrated. He is definitely a very strong quarterback. Darren Waller, great tight end. However, he did get an injury, so we will see if he's able to make it to the playoff game. But above all, the Raiders seem like a middle-of-the-line team with an offense and a defense that are good enough to make it to the playoffs. Meanwhile, you got the Bengals, who have the best wide receiver core in the league. Now, here's where I have to tell you I'm a little biased here. I am a die-hard Bengals fan, and I will definitely support the Bengals. However, I do have to be a little honest. We are not very consistent in certain aspects. Defense, we have given up big yard gains. However, we do have one of the best goal line defenses in the league. Bengals definitely have a great receiver core. Boyd, Mixon, Uzama, Higgins, and Chase are some of the best weapons that Joe Burrow has to work with. Joe Burrow went the last 2 or 3 games without throwing any interceptions. He has already gotten over 1,000 yards in the span of 3 games with 525 against the Baltimore Ravens. Going on to the defensive side, defensive line is an absolute weapon. Sam Hubbard and Trey Hendrickson are some of the best defensive linemen we've ever had. Larry Ogunjobi is also pretty good. I hope he gets a couple more sacks than he has been getting recently. Above all else, the Bengals are very overpowered in this case, in my opinion. I feel like their offense is just going to be too strong for the Las Vegas defense, so I am going to give this win to the Cincinnati Bengals. I know I'm biased, but I'm with the Bengals all the way. Then you got the Patriots and the Bills. This is going to be an even game. The Patriots and the Bills are both very inconsistent teams. Mac Jones has fallen in the past few weeks. his offense has dropped a lot of balls, but on the other side, the Bills' offensive line has not been the strongest, and Josh Allen, even with that pressure, has been inconsistent. However, their running game is still good, and the Bills' defense is one of the strongest in the league. Patriots, still a little inconsistent on that. This is going to be a close game. However, I am going to give this one to the Buffalo Bills. It's also projected to reach 2 degrees at the time this game is supposed to start, and since they have home field advantage, they will stand a better chance against the Patriots. And those games are all going to be taking place on Saturday. Vegas Bengals at 4:30, Patriots Bills at 8:15. So now let's go Sunday, January 16th at 1 o'clock. The Philadelphia Eagles will be facing off against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Now, Eagles, they deserve a lot more credit than they've been given. Jalen Hurts is honestly not a bad quarterback. I think he's done a lot of great plays. Their defense is still very strong, and I think that their offense is also a lot better. Now, they did have that blowout game against the Cowboys, but they didn't have their starters playing at the time, so I'm not even bringing that up. Because of this, I think they'll be able to hold their ground a little bit. However, the Buccaneers, they have a very strong offense. There are a lot of great receivers on that team. The line is one of the best, and given what we know about the Tampa Bay defense also being one of the greatest, and their special teams being the greatest, they are definitely going to help out their overrated quarterback be able to make it to at least a divisional round. Now, I know most of you are going to hate me for saying Tom Brady is overrated. I would make a video on it, but I've already seen like 2 or 3 people make videos that basically cover exactly what I'm going to cover. So because of that, I'm just going to show you the links to the videos down in the description. So listen to them. They're basically my arguments too. Anyway, moving back, given what we've seen here, as much as I love the Eagles and as much as I want to see them beat the Buccaneers, I think Tom Brady is going to get very lucky and is going to be able to pull it off against the Eagles. And even if he wasn't getting lucky, I think their defense would just be too much of a struggle for Jalen Hurts. Alright, 4:30 on Sunday, we have the San Francisco 49ers going up against the Dallas Cowboys. San Francisco is a very special team. They are a team that has really been known to switch up their coverages mid-play, and where the quarterback thinks of it's one thing, and then all of a sudden something completely different. Jimmy Garoppolo, honestly, still don't think he's that great of a quarterback, but he does have a lot of great weapons. He does have a good running back. Kittle is one of his best receivers, and I think that this is going to be a close game. However, before I reveal my pick, I'm going to move on to the Dallas Cowboys. Offensively, they just suck. The receivers keep dropping way too many passes. The O-line has trouble keeping Dak Prescott safe, and honestly, this terrible team is the only reason why Dak Prescott seems good, because honestly, he's not a great quarterback. He's made a lot of stupid decisions and has dropped the ball quite a bit. However, the reason why this is going to be such a close game is because their defense is still probably the best in the entire league. Most of their scores come from defensive plays. Either that or special teams. It's one of the two. And because of that, this is going to be a very close game. However, just because I don't trust Dak Prescott's abilities, I'm going to give this one to the 49ers. I don't think it's going to be a blowout, but I do think that the 49ers are going to cause a upset. So mark my words, 49ers beat the Dallas Cowboys. 8:15 Sunday, we got the Pittsburgh Steelers going up against the Kansas City Chiefs. Funniest video I ever saw. Ben Roethlisberger came out and said, 14 teams in the playoffs, and we are one of the worst, so we're just going to go out there and have fun. He's absolutely right, because Ben Roethlisberger, as much as I hate the Steelers, he's a decent quarterback. However, his O-line is absolute crap. I feel like a lot of his receivers, his good ones, have gone away. So really, his only major weapon there is Najee Harris. And their defense is decent, but it couldn't stop them from getting blown out in both games against the Bengals. I'm not even sure how they made it in. Meanwhile, you got the Chiefs, best O-line in the league. Defense is about average. And Patrick Mahomes. Because of this, Chiefs are probably going to blow out the Steelers. That's my belief. I believe that the Chiefs are probably going to blow out the Steelers by at least 10 to 15 more. And I'm not even sure if this is going to be a high-scoring game. I just think it's going to be a blowout for the Chiefs. And then finally, you got Monday Night Football, 8:15, Arizona Cardinals versus the Los Angeles Rams. I'm not sure where to start. Rams, they started out the season strong. They had a lot of good games. However, I feel like they have been very inconsistent. Because towards the end of the season, they have struggled to make very good plays. And I'm not entirely sure, I'm pretty sure they lost last game, which could have ended up losing them the divisional title. Meanwhile, you got the Cardinals, who saw that loss and were like, you know what, we should probably do the same thing. And then they lost to the Seattle Seahawks. Wow! And because of this, that puts the Cardinals at number 5 seed. So, not sure where to go here. Because both offenses seem to be doing really well. Kyler Murray's a great quarterback. Matthew Stafford, I've always felt like he was a good quarterback, even when he was with the Lions. He just never had great help. But I'm still a little conflicted about which team I think would pull off. I think I gotta go with the Rams. Mostly because I like the Rams more, and I feel like with Matthew Stafford and Cooper Kupp, I think they'll be a great combination. While Kyler Murray is definitely great at getting the ball down the field, I just don't feel like he has a great connection with a specific receiver. I know he has DeAndre Hopkins, which I know he's a great receiver. I remember him when he was with the Texans. But even then, I just have a strong feeling that the Rams are going to pull up against the Cardinals and probably win by only a few points. I don't see this being a blowout by either team, and I don't see this as being a low-scoring game. I think this is going to be a high-scoring game that's going to come down to the wire, but I think the Rams will pull it off in the end. So those are my picks, and this is what the divisional round's going to look like when you factor in which teams play where for the divisional round. These are my predictions, so let's see if I'm right this week. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all in the next predictions.